Outer Hebrides, Scotland, a cluster of remote, uninhabited islands known as the Flannan Isles. For centuries, sailors feared these waters. The islands were said to be haunted by ancient spirits, a place where no man belonged. But in December 1899, humanity built a symbol of hope on the highest point of the island. Eilean Mòr, a massive 2-foot lighthouse to guide ships through the dark. To operate this isolated station, 3 men were chosen: James Ducat, Thomas Marshall, and Donald MacArthur. These weren't amateurs. They were highly trained, disciplined, and seasoned professionals who knew the dangers of isolation. Yet, within 1 year of its construction, all 3 men would vanish off the face of the earth without leaving a single trace. This is the unsolved mystery of the Flannan Isles Lighthouse. Our story takes a dark turn on the night of December 15, 1900. A steamship named Arctur was passing by the Flannan Isles during a heavy mist. The captain noticed something deeply unsettling. The lighthouse, the one beacon of safety that was supposed to shine bright through the dark, was completely dead. No light, no warning, nothing but pitch-black silence. Due to bad weather, the ship couldn't stop to investigate, but they reported the incident when they docked. However, a massive storm delayed the relief ship, the Hesperus, from reaching the island. For 11 agonizing days, no one knew what was happening on that silent rock. Finally, on December 26th, Boxing Day, the relief ship arrived. The captain blew the ship's horn and fired a warning flare into the sky, expecting the 3 keepers to come running down to the docks. But there was no response, only the sound of crashing waves. Joseph Moore, a relief keeper, stepped onto the island alone. The atmosphere was heavy with dread. As he approached the lighthouse complex, he noticed the main gate and the entrance door were firmly shut. He unlocked the door with his spare key and stepped into the cold, damp hallway. What he found inside sent shivers down his spine. The fire in the kitchen hearth had been dead for days. On the table sat a meal left half eaten, as if the men were interrupted in the middle of dinner. In the corner, a wooden chair lay overturned on the floor, indicating someone had stood up in a massive rush. Moore searched the entire living quarters, calling out their names. No answer. He checked the oil lamps. They were cleaned and refilled, ready to be lit. But the most confusing clue was on the coat rack. 2 sets of heavy outdoor oilskins, required to survive the freezing Atlantic weather, were missing. But 1 coat belonged to Donald MacArthur, and it was still hanging on the wall. Why would an experienced keeper step out into the freezing, deadly cold without his jacket? The investigation deepened when officials examined the lighthouse logbook. The entries written by Thomas Marshall in the days leading up to the disappearance made no sense and painted a picture of absolute terror. On December 12th, Marshall wrote, "Severe gale, more than I have ever seen in 20 years. He then added a bizarre detail about his crewmates. James Ducat is very quiet, and Donald MacArthur is crying. This was shocking. MacArthur was a veteran sailor, known as a tough, hardened brawler. Why was he crying because of a storm inside a secure, solid stone lighthouse? The next entry on December 13th stated that the storm was still raging, and all 3 men had resorted to praying. But the final, bone-chilling entry was made on the afternoon of December 15. It simply said, "Storm ended, sea calm. God is over all." But here is the catch that baffles historians to this day. Official weather reports from nearby coastal stations proved that on December 12, 13, and 14, there was absolutely no storm in the area. The weather was completely calm. The storm that drove these grown men to tears and frantic prayers only existed on that island, or perhaps inside their minds. Over the last century, countless theories have tried to explain what dragged these men into the abyss. The official government report concluded that a rogue wave, a monstrous, unpredictable wall of water, must have hit the western platform of the island. while the men were securing ropes, sweeping them into the freezing sea. This explains why one coat was left behind. Perhaps MacArthur ran out in a panic to save his friends when he saw the giant wave coming, but skeptics point out the flaws. The logbook entry said the sea was calm on the 15th. Why would a wave hit them during a calm sea? This gave rise to darker, supernatural theories. Local folklore whispered that the island was guarded by phantom birds and ancient shapes who took revenge on the keepers for invading their holy land. Others believed that the intense isolation drove one of the men insane, leading him to murder his companions before jumping off the cliff into the rocky depths below. No bodies were ever recovered. No signs of violence were ever found. The sea kept its secret, and the Flannan Isles Lighthouse remains a haunting monument to one of history's greatest maritime vanishing acts. What do you believe happened to the three keepers? Were they victims of nature's fury, or did they encounter something beyond human comprehension? Share your theories in the comments below. If you love unraveling history's darkest mysteries, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the Chronicle Shadows. Until next time, stay in the light.